Hello everybody, I'm in a Storm here, and today we're going to be starting up a new series, playing Transport Fever. And I decided to go ahead and start up a new series of Transport Fever, even though Transport Fever 2 is going to be coming out in a few months. Because I really wasn't happy with how my previous Transport Fever 2 series ended up, primarily because industry was broken, and I really kind of hit a wall, as I mentioned in the last episode of that series, because I really wasn't able to get done what I wanted to get done. So I made some adjustments, I got some new mods going, and hopefully it's going to work this time. So we're going to go ahead and get to it. Now this map is a new map. It is actually one that I created. I actually started preparing this map back when I was getting ready to start my first series, but ultimately decided to go with, the kind of, the map I used before, which had like the large crater and other features on it. I didn't decide to go with this map, but I went ahead and finished it up, and we should be ready to go on this. Now again, on this map, like the previous map, all the cities are kind of named for various pop culture references. So you'll see a lot of the same city names if you watch the previous series. So, this map is also going to be, I'm thinking, quite challenging. Because it's actually based on a real-world terrain data, and the terrain is from Mount Rainier National Park in Washington State. I, of course, have modified it slightly because, all the water and everything, so I brought the water level up so that we actually have some water on the map. But as we go ahead and proceed towards the center of the map, you can start to see that the terrain begins getting rather rugged. Very rugged up here. And here's Mount Rainier itself. So this is going to be really interesting to try to build stuff in. And hopefully it'll be fun, trying to figure out the various engineering challenges that we're going to need to solve to actually get, train lines and stuff like that to work. There are some areas in the map that are relatively flat, like out here a little bit, even though there are still some significant elevation changes. But even some of the flatter areas of the map, like over here, for example, aren't exactly flat. I mean, there's pretty good hills here. So it is going to be, as I said, interesting to see how things go here. Alright, so to get started, we are going to need to pick a place to start. And I need to decide that. Now, we are doing, the 1850 start, so we're going to be doing early Steam. Now, in the previous series that I did, I was running a mod that slowed down the progression of time by 2 times, I think. So the time would progress a lot slower, so we would spend a lot more time in the Steam age. I'm not running that mod in this particular series, so we should progress through the time periods a lot quicker. So hopefully we'll get into the more of the modern stuff faster. So that's kind of my plan there. And also it should make for a somewhat faster series because, again, Transport Fever 2 is coming, and I want to be ready for that. Alright, so I was kind of looking around here, and High Charity seems to be a pretty good spot to start. Because we've got, a bunch of cities around here. We've got Orgrimmar, we've got Asgard, we've got Blackwater, We got Emerald City, Iron Forge, and Lucca all kind of here. Lumois City is kind of way out there a little bit. And actually, I don't think there's even a road that gets there. No, there is a road that comes through there. I did let the map auto-generate the roads, because it actually works on this map. It didn't work on the previous map. It would crash all the time. So I had to kind of manually build the road network there. Well, by hand before I started. So these are all auto-generated roads. So we shall see here. Now, I also made these cities as small as they possibly can. Now, they still do have various sizes. So let's take a look at what is our most populous city, because those are actually going to be the cities that are going to have the most passengers available to start with. Midgar, Orojuin, Ironforge, Lucca, Randgrease, Kokiri Forest, Revelstone. Where is Midgar, by the way? Up there. Way up in the northern end of the map. So we have Jijo, Midgar, Insomnia, with potential connections to Valroyo, Kithrup, and Duckburg. That is not a bad place to start. The problem is that terrain up here is we would be diving straight into the deep end of the pool to go through here. But this valley's pretty nice. You get a train running through here, so this is a fairly flat. We could snake a train line through there. I don't think it would be too hard. We got an oil well. The refinery's over here, so that would be a thing. There's also a refinery way up there, but that's kind of out of the way. You know what? Let's do it. Let's dive straight in and let's see how this is going to work. Now, let's take a look at the distribution of land use, because I kind of want to start without spending too much money out of the gate. So we're going to try and just do some intercity connections first, just to kind of get the cities to begin growing a little bit. And then we will get in there and then worry about kind of setting up the intra-city transport routes, and then eventually, train lines. Like, I'm thinking that probably we would have to... There's no way we would get a train station in over here. Train station would have to come in on this side of town, I would think. Somewhere around over here. We'd probably have to build a bridge. And then go out that way. Not going to be cheap. Alright, but since we have roads, we're going to make buses. Or coaches, because there really aren't any buses at this particular period. So let's go ahead and set up some passenger stations. Do I want to go straight to large? Sure, why not? Now, do I want to demolish chunks of the city? Not really. But I want to get coverage on all of the main residential area of the city. I mean, I could put it there. That would cover most everything, but from all the terrain modification we would have to do, it doesn't really benefit us much. I mean, I could drop it there. I could drop it there, and I would only have to demolish a single house, and it would cover most of the residential area. Too much curvature. Okay, let's do it. Alright, and so Jijo is going to be next up here. Oh, that's a bit of a mess, isn't it? Because you got our residential areas just smattered all over the place. So I want to try and get this thing somewhere where it's going to cover most of the city. Like right there would do it. 350k. Do it. Now, I could just do these with just normal stops, but no, I want to put in the actual stations because we're going to use them as part of the intra-city network. Now, Insomnia is kind of way out there, isn't it? That is a long route. But it's what we're going to do. Okay, so again, residential area is kind of spread out. This seems to be the most central location to try. Unable to align terrain. Yeah, that would be a problem, wouldn't it? Let's see, what if I brought it around here? Ooh, 4 buildings. Can we get away with demolishing only a few buildings? 3 buildings, 350k. And we're not even really covering the really good spots. Too much slope. 5 buildings will be removed. 500,000. Ouch. $500,000 is pretty expensive. You know what we're gonna do up here? We're just gonna use a small bus stop. We're not gonna put in the full station. We'll let the city grow a little bit, and then we'll put in the station. Because 1.2k is a lot less than 500. Alright, so we're going to do that. Alright. Now, we're going to need road depots. We are going to be using trams for the, the city, the interior city connections. As we did before. buses for intercity. Can I do that without knocking down the house? I can. In fact, do that without knocking down the house. Very good. All right. Can I get one in here without knocking down a house? Too much curvature. Too much curvature. Oh, right there. There you go. Okay, and then another one over here. I would like to kind of keep it right near the station. I don't want to spend 100 grand for it. Alright, well, we'll just put the depot outside of town then. Alright, so let's set up our first line. Alright, Chijo to Midgar to Insomnia. There you go. So we're going to use the same naming convention. So ICB for Intercity Bus. Chijo to Midgar to Insomnia. Alright. Looks good. So let's get our road depots. And this is going to be a fairly long route, so we are going to want to probably put a few vehicles on this route. We're going to go with the stagecoaches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 30 vehicles? 9, 10? 10 vehicles per 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There we go. Yeah, 30 coaches. We are probably going to pare that down over time as we get faster vehicles and higher capacity vehicles. We aren't going to need 30 buses on this particular line once we actually have buses, real, like buses with internal combustion engines in them rather than horses. Okay, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and set them all to the line right out of the gate, and let's unpause it. So they should kind of split themselves up. And I think that for these lines, I think that in this series I am going to colorize things. So I think for my buses, we're going to use a specific color. And I think we're going to go with maybe the pinks and purples? No, let's go with the dark greens. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to colorize the vehicles to be the same color. So now they're green. Wasn't something I really did in the last series. Okay, so we have what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of them heading that way. 4 of them headed that way. That's okay. We've got a bunch heading in this direction, a bunch heading in that direction. I'd actually prefer if maybe you headed in the other direction and you headed in the other direction. There we go. So make sure that everybody kind of spreads out a little bit. Oh, right. I don't want that on. And yeah, there's a bit too many in this particular group. You head the other way. You head the other way. Head the other way. Alright, so there we go. So that's going to be some time before it actually starts to see any profit. Now, do I want to set up a second line to get some more cities connected? I want to set up a second line. It wouldn't be a bad idea. Just checking navigable waters through that bridge, so that's good. We can get ships under there. I don't know how much we're going to be using ships. Well, because while there is water on the map, I mean, there isn't like large areas of water like I had in the last map that really kind of facilitated the use of ships. There's no islands. Well, there might be some islands, but yeah, I don't think they're really. I mean, there's a few like little islands there. There's like an island there, but that really doesn't have anything on it. There's like this little guy over here, but I didn't put anything over there, which I probably should have. I got this coal mine here out on that island, but again, there's roads there, and you know, we could easily do a bridge, so and I don't necessarily want to dive straight into rail here. Okay, Jijo's kind of a mid-sized city for this map. So we'll see how this plays. I think we are going to probably want to add another bus route. Just trying to decide where it's going to be. I think we would want to tie it to the one we just set up, because then that helps kind of, you know, they can all interact with each other. So I would think that Insomnia to Valroyo to Kithrup might be where we want to do. I wouldn't want these guys to come all the way down here and then head that way. What I may do is co-opt this road. Why can't I snap to that corner? Weird. Terrain alignment collision. See, now what I'm using is the Flexible Industries mod, which allows me to directly control the industry and manually tell them what to do. And I'm hoping that that is going to be better. Access road north. Yes. Unable to align terrain. What? Alright, well, we might have to worry about that later. But let's at least get that road back in here, and then, we can worry about that industry later. Because what the Flexible Industries mod also allows me to delete and basically replace an industry. I'm going to go for a bridge. We're going to keep the bridge cheap. There we go. As far as deleting and replacing industries, that I will only delete and then put an industry back right or near where it was. There's kind of a restriction I'm going to put on myself there. Alright, so. Valroyo. Let's see. Where do we have a good spot to put things? Unable to align terrain. We're going to have a lot of that. We're going to have a lot of that this series. I'd rather not knock down half the town. Yeah, I can't really get it in here, though. Not without spending an inordinate amount of money. Alright, well, what we might do is we just go for just a normal bus stop here as well. Nice, we're going to do both sides of the street there. You know, oh, this doesn't come through there. That should cover the whole town there as well. Alright. So, let's go ahead and create a new line. We're going to stick with these shades of green here for this. See, this is where having the station here would help. But that actually gives us 2 terminals. Right, when we do that. You know, I just realized I need to make an adjustment to the other route. Because I didn't do the thing where I come back there. Right. So we need to add. You need to add another stop there. There we go. Okay. So this is going to be another inner city bus. Again, we don't actually have buses yet. This is going to be Insomnia to Valroyo to Kier. That'll do, I think. Depots are probably just going to have to sit outside of town for the time being. Alright. So let's get our coaches on these lines. And we're going to do the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, that was one too many. There we go. And let's... Oh, no. Set the vehicle color to that. And there you go. A slightly lighter shade of green. Alright, so that should at least get us started. Do we see any construction in the town yet? I don't see any passengers yet. I think I am starting to see some roads form. Yep, there we go. We got some construction going. Good. We may have to get in here and manually build some roads to encourage the game to extend the cities in certain directions. So we'll have to see about that. But I think for now, we're going to go ahead and end this episode here. And yeah, we'll see how all this plays out. And then eventually, we'll get some trains going. And we'll see how that all works. So that is going to be interesting. I'm probably going to need to put out another bus to Duckburg, but I'm actually going to want a full-on station in one of these towns before I'll do that. Alright. So we'll go ahead, we'll end here. And we'll see how this plays out. So, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Go ahead, like, subscribe, and comment, and I will see you next time.